everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Uh, I want to humbly make a suggestion, if it is okay. I want to humbly make a suggestion to you. I know we're in a sort of like a crisis type of situation right now. We're in the crisis. We've got the situation of COVID-19. And then our dear brother Floyd was murdered by a police officer. And as a result of that, we have rioting. Did I say it right the first time? It's all over the world. And now Trump is saying he's going to send National Guard out because, he don't like what the people are doing and all this type of stuff. And that's going to bring martial law into play. And go look up martial law because it's too much for me to try to explain. But these things that are coming upon the earth right now, these things that are happening right now, these things were planned. They were strategically planned. And now is not the time to fight violence with violence. Violence only begets more violence. I understand the anger of the people. We're all angry. But there is a way to handle this situation. There's a way to handle it. I also want to touch on the fact of how these different groups are going around from city to city and they're bringing the riots. I mean, if that ain't the devil, and then the media try to make it look like it's people that live there. They try to make it like it's black people that are doing it. It's a special group that goes all around to ignite the fire. I mean, literally ignite. I'm sorry, literally. Let me stop saying literally because I say that when I'm joking. And I'm not joking right now. But that they literally go around starting fires by heightening up the crowd and writing graffiti and it's not the natives. It's the people that are coming in that are starting these things. All of that is causing depression, anxiety. I mean, the devil is having a field day with a lot of people. And a lot of the people that he's having a field day with, they're God's people. And so, listen, Sunday night, I was feeling some type of way. I was really, really going through it. I was in some serious warfare. The enemy really came to try to steal, kill, and destroy. On Sunday night, I was working. I was on my way to Illinois with a load, minding my own business, and all of a sudden, fear, doubt, anger, oppression, depression, everything came my way. And I just started talking to God like, God, wait a minute. Because I just didn't see it coming. And so what ended up happening is I went on a fast. I started it at midnight. And I went all the way into this morning. I came off it this morning with breakfast. And when I tell you all those things that I told you, the anguish, the fear, the depression, the anxiety, all that stuff broke off of me. Not after I came off the fast, but to be honest with you, it started falling off as soon as midnight hit, because my mind was already set. I had a desperation. I had such a desperation to fast, because I knew that would break whatever the enemy was trying to send my way. I knew that it was going to break it. Remember in Matthew chapter 17, starting with verse 14. You go read it for yourself. Jesus and his disciples, I forgot where they were going, but he went around healing everybody. I mean, he just went around, even when he wasn't planning on healing, he was healing, okay? He was working all the time. And the man dropped down to his knees because he saw Jesus. He was desperate. And he dropped down to his knees and he told him about his son who had been demonized, and he was throwing himself in and out of the fire. And God only knows everything else that was going on with this young man, with this man's son, the young man. And he had a lot of demons. He was being attacked. He was being tormented to the 10th, 100th power. And the disciples could not cast those demons out of that boy. They couldn't cast them out. And Jesus was a little irritated because, they had been walking with him and they had been learning from him. So he was a little disappointed. And he said, ye of little faith, where's your faith? You've been walking with me. You've been seeing the things I've been doing. And I told you could do them too. He rebuked the spirit that was in the boy. Instantly, that boy was good to go. And the disciples wanted to know, well, why couldn't we do it like you just did it? Rabbi, why couldn't we do that? And he said, little faith. Jesus lived a fasted life. He lived a fasted lifestyle. And he told them, he said, some only come out by fasting. Some only come out by fasting. So I knew what I had to do. I knew that I was up against something that was bigger than me. Praying, because I was trying to pray in the spirit. And I couldn't even, it was like something was holding my diaphragm down. I couldn't get the tongues out. I couldn't do anything. I was a mess. I got myself together for that night, and I went and I laid down. He that wait on the Lord, he that waiteth on the Lord shall renew his strength. He shall mount up like an eagle. I don't like to really try to say these things without having them written down because I'll butcher them up. But the Lord helps me. He helps me. But we have to wait on God. We have to push our plate away because there's a lot of things that we go through, and if we're too messed up, we won't even be able to help ourselves. We won't even be able to use those weapons that we've been given. If we get too bogged down in our issues and things that we're going through, and depression and just the state of the world, we look at this stuff on the news, and it's like sometimes it could be too much for your spirit to look at that stuff. You have to have on the full armor of God just to look at that stuff sometimes, and so I'm humbly making a suggestion that if you're going through anxiety, if you're having anxiety or anxiety attacks, or if you're just going through you're freaking out, I'm telling you, fasting will work. I don't care if it's just a meal. I don't care if it's just like one meal. Fasting works. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go way back to when I was in my 30s. And something had happened. That's a story for another day. And man, they're close up on me. And so it was during the time of when the levees broke in New Orleans. It was during all of that. And something happened to me. And well, it was the enemy, but it was like demons began to torment me. And This went on for a couple weeks. I couldn't eat. I had the shakes. I went to the doctor and they told me that I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. A nervous breakdown. And I'm like, I'm the person that people come to not have a nervous breakdown. And now I'm about to have one. And there's stuff that led up to that. The bottom, what I'm trying to get at is, I went on a 3-day fast. And really, what happened to me that time, it was way worse than what happened to me Sunday. And Sunday was bad. But I went on a 3-day fast. And it broke. That thing broke off of me. It was really bad. I mean, they tried to put me on some type of anxiety pill, and I mean, it was bad. That's why I'm so confident of telling people about Jesus. I'm so confident because I've been through so much, but He brought me out on the other side. You know, He brought me out. I can talk about event after event after event. I'm going to try to write a book because it's a lot. It's really a lot. I'm working on one now, but to me, I haven't even scratched the surface of writing a book. But He's brought me through so much, y'all. And so now is the time to fast. I don't care if it's 1 meal, 2 meals out that day. You're on medication. Maybe you can only fast for a certain amount of time. Do something. It's all. God recognizes it. I'm telling you, He broke that demonic thing that tried to come and arrest me on Sunday. He broke it. He didn't wait until I was 2 hours into the fast. I started feeling that thing work immediately. It started working as soon as my heart, because God knows your heart, right? He knows. I was desperate. I was like that man that dropped to his knees in Matthew 17 and 14. Chapter 17, verse 14. I was like him. And I've been like him many times. And sometimes we have to be like the father that was asking for help for his son. Sometimes we have to be that way. You know, because you're not going to do anything unless it's unfortunate that it has to get like that, but sometimes it has to get that way. You have to get desperate. We have to get desperate for God to do something in our life. So I just wanted to drop that video. I hope it wasn't too long, and I surely hope it's going to help somebody. I hope it touched somebody. Okay? And write me. I got an email posted there. So you can write me if you have a question, if you have a prayer request, I love interpreting dreams, y'all. That is so fun, especially, you know, anyway, not saying too much. I love interpreting dreams. If you have a dream that you want to share with me by email, and if you give me permission to share it, I will be glad to share it. I will be glad to share it. But I love interpreting dreams. That's one of the gifts that God gave me.